going on, dudes? It's your dude, Jaedite, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Picking up where we left off, we continued on our journey in Inazuma to visit the Kamisato estate, if that's correct.
What should I try this time?
Whatever you want to do, buddy. Anyways, we continued on the main quest of our journey. We were led to help three people that have been fighting for their groups and their people have suddenly lost their memories due to their visions. And the reason why we did that quest is because the leader Ayaka Kamisato Ayaka, sent us this mission in order to get a reward to tell us more about Raiden Shogun, who is somewhere hidden in Inazuma, who's responsible for the stolen visions that we must need to require to help the citizens of Inazuma. So because of that, we managed to do a lot of it. I've left it off with the last one, traveling with his companions to a maiden shrine. But I've left that off because I wanted to focus on another quest that I mentioned before as well. And we're here in Liyue Harbor for that quest. And it is the Teapot quest. I'm in the wrong area. It says here, the crisis looming over Liyue Harbor has come. And it's business as usual in the city. However, Madame Ping, the flower admirer from Eugene Terrace, seems to have something more to discuss with you. I believe this is basically to do with the fact that I accidentally opened this quest earlier without realizing it. That I showed you in one of my previous episodes, which I really enjoyed that episode for obvious reasons. But now we gotta do this Teapot quest because it's really important to complete this quest for other quests that would be really good for us to complete. So in order to do that, we need to complete this Teapot quest to unlock it. So we're gonna head over here and talk to Krosl, and it looks like there's a quest available as well too. So we'll talk to him in just a second. So let's talk to Krosl. Oh yeah, Yanfei's with us too.
How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus Jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Jiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Jiao before renting them to her.
That name is a bit complicated in my opinion.
The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Jiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
So no ambiguities there?
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Jiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Krosl. We'll be off now.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Miss Yanfei is with us, which a couple episodes back we managed to get her in a wish banner as well. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta do a banner right now for a daily routine of for each episode of wishing for a character. I've only got enough for this banner, so we'll just wish one and see what we got. If we don't get any, that's fine. Looks purple, so might not be a new character. Raven, weapons don't mean anything. Ah, Sethos. We already have him, so we'll collect Stardust from him. Okay, nothing special, so we'll leave it at that. So let's talk to Kun. He's got Kun. I think that's a better way of saying it. Anyways, a perfectly good jade chamber. Gone, just like that. What are you doing over here? Ah, it's you. Well, I'm currently thinking about how to clear up the fragments of the jade chamber currently floating on the ocean's surface. You recall that it was completely destroyed when it crashed, right? Those fragments ended up floating on the ocean, with some larger pieces even blocking the path of passing ships. The Ministry of Civil Affairs organized a cleanup, which got rid of all the larger pieces. But as for those smaller bits of flotsam, clear them out one day and more come floating in the next. While they're not that much of a problem, the Ministry's stance is that we should clean them up all the same. I'm currently thinking about this can be done. Our sergeant said that I could look for some people to help out, but would want to do this job anyway. I mean, unless you, well, are you willing to help me with the cleanup? You might even be able to keep some of the useful items you pick up. You can count on me. Thanks, you're a big help. I'm afraid that I'm not a particularly good swimmer. That's fine. Fishing for jade. Cleared last time from the north one. Well, it's right here. If this is a quick quest, then I'll be able to get this done, dusted, before we continue on with the Teapot quest. Yeah, the fact that I have to swim is going to be annoying. Now let me go back here, refresh my stamina. Okay, for some reason Oh, can I not climb these? Are you serious? That's okay, I can just get on this thing. Refresh my stamina, and then jump. And there, done. Play the flow sound from the south. There we go. Okay, let me just refresh my stamina before I jump in again. This is a good diving technique my character does. Pretty cool. There we go. Let me just refresh my stamina again. And there we go. Report back to Kun. Alright. Kun, I've got it sorted. Have you finished the cleanup? I found these things. I suppose you can just keep that more. It isn't much, so I suppose you can keep it as compensation for your help. This box, on the other hand, is unknown to me. You might want to pass it on to Byron. She's currently attending to some business at Liyue Harbor. Perhaps she might know what it is. I will check that out. Ah, jeez. You know what? I'll save this for later. I'll pass the box to Byron when I get the chance. But first I need to go to that quest that I saw on the map as well. It was over here. I need to quickly unlock it. There it is. Oh, it's that lady we had to talk to find Baido and her ship to get to Inazuma. Atsuko. I wonder how my mom is doing, and Dad as well. Oh, Traveler. What are you doing here? I remember you asked me how to go to Inazuma last time. I've been to Inazuma. You did go? And you managed to come back. You live up to your reputation as a warrior. Your abilities are far beyond those ordinary folks like me. Oh, right. If you don't mind, can you do me a favor? What's wrong? When I left Inazuma, I left without saying goodbye. Ever since I was little, I've longed for the world outside of Inazuma. I'd like to travel and I dislike being controlled by my parents. They issued the Vision Hunt Decree? The atmosphere in Inazuma has become increasingly suffocating. That's why I decided to leave my hometown. When I came to Liyue, although I managed to find a way to survive, I couldn't find a reliable person to send a message to my family back home. Can I ask you for a favor to help deliver a letter to my parents? I'll take care of it. Thank you. Well, I'll leave the letter to you. By the way, my father's name is Yo. My mother's name is Mishru. I'll mark the address on the map for you. After leaving my hometown, I've experienced a lot. Now I know that if I want to become an independent and strong woman, I can't just rely on my parents like before. I decided that I won't go back to my hometown in the near future. If I encounter any difficulties outside, I will face them by myself. I think my parents will be proud of me if I can do that. I also wrote about my determination in the letter, so please take it to my parents. Well, wait. Do I gotta talk to her again?
So lively. So many travelers.
No? Okay. It just means I gotta deliver the message to her parents in Inazuma. Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but first, let me go back to the Teapot quest, because that's really important right now. So let's travel. Chi-chow.
Oh, whatever shall I do?
Excuse me, are you Chi-chow?
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Mr. Chow? We understand from Mr. Krosl that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice.
Why do you need them in the first place?
My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Maybe because this is the part where we say, we can help?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Mr. Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Chichao somehow.
That would be a little unfair to Krosl.
True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right.
I'm afraid not.
I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Krosl the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Oh man.
Even higher?
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Chichao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Oh?
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the Jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the Jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Please.
I don't get what
Please,
Yanfei's trying to get, but I'll go
Don't
with what
trouble
she's saying.
yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract.
It's such a huge sum of money, though.
However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Krosl in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Alright.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch, finest quality jade.
Is something the matter?
No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Krosl's.
Alright.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus Jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Krosl.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
I wonder what Yanfei's got in mind.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after all.
Not Smaragdus Jadeite, really?
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Krosl's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
Really?
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
A very vivid description.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Okay.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yanfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
If I had one more for every time I hear the word contract.
It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yanfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well.
Look at Paimon's face. She is very confused.
And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
This is actually very similar when you're having a job or getting a job, I should say. And sometimes you have contracts like these. It's such an ordeal.
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy.
Need me to do anything?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Yeah.
Miss Yanfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geo-energy around Mr. Krosl, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite.
Huh. Smart move.
Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore.
I see.
If Mr. Krosl had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Ah, the guy we had to talk to with Jean-Li. Let's go talk to him then, straight away.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnayan merchant named Krosl enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Krosl, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
They're very green.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Look at the debris. Interesting.
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings.
Smaragdus nephrite?
Yes. It's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
Huh.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Okay.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental sight a shot.
Rightio.
So, did you find anything?
Not a trace of elemental energy.
So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Why couldn't you tell them apart?
These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Krosl...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Alright then. We'll go back to Chateau.
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Krosl did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus Jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus Jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit.
Oh boy.
This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Krosl brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei, but might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Krosl won't dare try to deny what he did.
Right.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling.
Compelling?
If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think.
Oh, and she got her book out.
Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Singxi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Alright.
That was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us.
Makes sense of this place.
But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
Okay.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
Is this how adepti become so adept at everything?
Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that
I see.
casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Singxi.
I feel like Yanfei is just so casual of a character, honestly. Like, nothing special, but also some good talent. It's really good. I definitely my Yanfei, and hopefully someday I'll use her as a character as I have her in the collections right here. the notifications for Smaragdus for the constellation, so I'll just quickly put that in there. But yeah, like I said, I already have Yanfei, and hopefully I'll upgrade her to the point where I use her at some point in future episodes. But anyways, that is all the time I have for this episode, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to help this channel grow. If you guys like these videos, make sure you hit that like button. If you guys have any other suggestions, make sure you leave a comment down below. Next episode, we're going to head back to the Summerside Tale events at Skamalaka, I think that's the name of it, to continue on with the special event story that is popping. Now we'll continue helping Nilou with her quest as a fairy, as a protector of the land. I don't know her role, but it's in a but that's in the fairy tale as her role to protect the creatures and land, which is a fairy tale map to be exact. But hopefully we'll get that sort of dusted. There's only a limited time left for that story to be finished off. It's got only a couple weeks left before it finishes off. Hopefully we'll finish it before that, and hopefully we'll get the rewards that I was talking about that we'll get, and maybe we'll see what interesting story we'll get at the end. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.